start.
Haven't you ever heard of a killer? I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
So I said, look at LeakYou video. What the fuck is LeakYou? Is it like a site? What's LeakYou? LeakYou. Is it a YouTube channel? Oh shit. Oh, all right, bet. Here we go.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I have a very special guest here, and I'm just making sure I don't have any echoes going on here. I still kind of hear one. Let me just double check something here. I have got oh, there, I found it. All right. That's much better. Guess what, guys? I have an amazing guest on today. And believe it or not, I can't believe it's been so long since I've waited to have this wonderful man, okay, this wonderful man onto the platform. Khalil Amani is here tonight. I am ecstatic to have Khalil here. And, I called him up and I said, hey, you want to do an interview? Just talk about whatever we want to talk about. I think we're going to have a little bit of fun today, though. So,
Yes,
Khalil, how are you?
I am wonderful.
How is
How
your
are
day?
you?
I'm
I'm good.
fantastic. I'm getting
Yeah.
ready to go back to work tomorrow, and I wish I would have took another week off, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Well, the weekends go by fast. You know how that goes.
Man,
Yeah.
so fast.
I'm just excited about Tuesday. I'm
Oh, what's
excited.
happening Tuesday?
The election.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, how could I not even think about that?
I'm,
Matter of fact,
I'm
that's my brother's birthday.
oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be amazing. Are you going to vote, or
Already
are you
done it.
going to even admit to voting?
Already voted. Go
Oh,
Kamala.
yeah. I
Go
knew it.
Kamala. I
I
got my
knew
shirt
it.
over there. So yeah, I voted. I voted by mail last week. Me and my
Nice.
family. And I'm just,
Nice.
the polls are saying that it's a tight race, but I am predicting she's gonna run away with this thing. I'm
Man,
just, I just believe that. So
I
We'll
I
see.
kind of I feel the same. I feel like she's gonna wow everyone the way Trump wowed everyone back in 2016
Yep,
when when we was not expecting him to win that presidential election back in
absolutely.
2016, and so I
And
think that
yeah,
she might do it.
we might even flip your state to blue.
Hey, I'm okay with that. There's a lot of talk about Texas going blue. For the first time, she came and she actually, she got booed or whatnot, but she actually
Mhm.
came to Texas, and I was really glad to see that. And it's not impossible. Texas has been blue before.
Yeah, well, it's
It's
kind of like my home state of Florida. For some reason, we're always red. Well, I know why, but you know. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm just excited about seeing a black woman. I'm excited about seeing a woman be the president. I'm
ain't
always
nothing.
I'm always rooting for like the underdog and somebody different than what we've had for 43 other presidents. I want to see a woman. I want to see I'm I was an LGBTQ. I want to see just different folks run the country. So that's really my politics. It's shallow.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I don't
anyway,
know about you, but I'm about fed up with Trump at this point. I mean, Trump felony charges, he was not happy when he was voted out the first time. He caused an absolute riot that killed people.
yep.
And why he stood behind his bulletproof whatever,
Mhm.
glass. And I'm a little concerned. I mean, that's concerning, big time.
Yeah,
Big,
well,
big, big time.
he's already laying the groundwork for, election fraud, all that. He's already doing that. So I just hope that whatever happens, my position is if he wins, he wins. I have no issue with that. I just wanted, fair election, winner take all, and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
We'll keep on going. If Trump wins, he wins. It's all good. So whatever. But anyway,
I'm with you. I'm with
yeah,
on that. Honestly,
yeah,
I mean, if it is what it is, right?
it is what it is.
Seriously, it is what it is. So, tell me what else has been going on with you? You've had a lot going on. Anything special that you want to bring attention to? Anything you want to talk about? Things
Oh,
that have
I want to talk about Israel doctrine,
I
Pizzy
would
and
love
Gwizzy.
to.
I want to talk about their bullshit.
I
I
would love
mean,
to. Hey,
well,
did you see the post that Gwinnetta Greer left on Napashada's video?
yeah,
Did you
yes,
see that? What did you think? What
yes.
were your thoughts on that?
I was like, wow. Oh, she's trying to set up some bullshit.
Yeah,
Now she knows that me and Nepal that we cool,
right.
but I guess she's trying to backdoor you and backdoor me. But as you said, I saw your stuff. It'd be a bad move for Nepal to do that.
Yeah.
But I would reach out to her myself just to have a conversation with her. I know she's going through some stuff with her husband right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what that's about, but I guess that's over at least for now,
For today, maybe.
for today.
I don't know.
Folks be breaking up and making up all the time, don't they?
All the time. I can't tell you how many times I did it. Coming up. But it's
Oh yeah,
funny. I'd like to show you this post and show the world this
show it.
post. So, essentially, what happened here is Nepal did a video, and she's now privated the video. But 4 minutes 13 seconds into the video, uh, all of a sudden, Israel Doctrine's quizzing posted a post, as you can see here, and it says, "I'm going." What does it say? I'm going to hit you up, sister. That's exactly what she told Nepal. I'm going to hit you up, sister.
Mm,
And I responded to Nepal, and I seen this, I screenshot it, and I said, "Hey, Nepal, if you allow that child abuser Israel Doctrine's quizzing, who has lied on Khalil Amani blatantly and myself, and give that child abuser a platform, it's going to be a huge issue. That woman hardly knows QT, meaning Queen's Throne, and I'm talking about, Israel Doctrine's queen. She doesn't really know her that well,
Mhm.
and and is only trying to use you. I'm telling you now that I will take it very personally and will take the time to address it all accordingly, and it has nothing to do with Queen's Throne. You should have a convo with Khalil about that woman. You say you have the utmost respect for Khalil. I hope you take that into account. That clout chasing, child abusing liar will only bring negativity. And then I put at Khalil Zamani World. I said, if you do offer her some sort of interview, I hope it's fair sighted, as I have proven documentation that she is a child abuser, and so does Khalil.
Yeah. Enough said. Because the
Yeah.
bottom line is you've already destroyed her with that whew, that Alabama newspaper thing.
Oh,
That was
that
like
was
the
killer.
that was a killer. That was the nail in her coffin. I mean, I personally I don't know how someone could even come back on YouTube after they've been exposed that at least for the year and change that I've known this person, she's been denying that she didn't have her children.
Right.
She's always claiming that she had her son. I have my son. I have my son. And you brought out that Mobile, Alabama newspaper, which showed that the state of Alabama was looking for her because her child was about to go into adoption. And finally, she fessed up and said, "Yeah, he's in the state here.
Go adopt him. Go adopt the little
Go adopt him.
bastard.
Right, go adopt him." But it took you and your fine investigative journalism to get hold of that article and to make her look like a complete liar, the complete liar that we always knew she was. I knew she never had her son with her because she's
No.
up too early doing YouTube lives when you would think she would be with her child. You would just think,
Right.
early in the morning, late at night, and you never heard anybody in the background. You know, when I do videos, sometimes my grandkids come in and hug me and stuff. In the middle of my video,
All the time.
there's stuff to interrupt it because they don't care about this YouTube stuff. But
No.
but never did we hear any pitter patter of little feet in Gwinnetta Greer's background. So we knew she was lying. And you forced her to finally throw up her hands and wave them around like she just don't care. And just admit that yeah, the state of Alabama got him. You go adopt him.
I couldn't
The
believe it.
little bastard.
Oh my God. When
Jesus
she
Christ.
said that, I was just like, wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
And the thing about that whole situation, I don't fault her for whatever caused that to happen. Is that you're over there lying about the situation. People fall on bad times all the time.
Yep.
You could go through things all the time. But to blame the state of Alabama as though you were targeted by the state of Alabama about your child, that just never rang true with me and with many other people.
Right.
It's
Right.
okay. You had a rough patch in life. You lost your child. Okay, I'm going to do the things I need to do to get my child back. But instead, she's passing the buck and blaming everybody for her failures, and that's what makes this tragic.
Absolute tragedy. I mean, I couldn't believe it when those newspaper articles were located. And by law, Alabama has to file four.
Hmm.
And I couldn't believe, that they had no idea where she was, yet she was telling the world that her kids were at home safe with her.
Hmm.
She has this elaborate relationship with her children. And even now to this day, she is still not being honest about the situation at
Right.
all. And Israel Doctrine covers for her, I notice.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
mean, what's up with that?
yeah,
I thought he was a man of God who believed in being honest and telling the truth. What happened?
well, you
You
don't care.
know, Cuban crisis is like I'm out of the loop. Doctrine and child abuse. Well, we're referring to Israel doctrine and his queen, who is a documented child abuser. And you know, and you'll have to go back to Interloper Nation, you know, watch some of the videos, go to Khalil Amani's page, watch some of the videos. We have broke this down like nobody's business, like
Yeah,
nobody's business. I mean, we've went deep, and it's only because it's like, why continue to lie about something that we know we know, you
right,
know, there's no reason to lie about something that is so blatant.
right.
um so I got to ask you a question,
Yeah.
Khalil. How
Hmm.
did you feel when she called the FBI on you? I, you know, she did it to me. She did it to Queen's Throne, and then she did
Right,
it to you. And we've never talked about this.
right.
And how did you feel when she called the FBI on you?
Well, first thing, it's a joke. I mean,
Right.
the whole process, and because most folks that know my story, they know that I actually worked for the FBI back in the day. So I know the process whereby things get done. And calling the FBI on YouTube as Pizzy did or as she did. Did she do it on YouTube?
She did. And
On
she went
YouTube,
down
yeah.
to the police station on
That's
YouTube.
right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she did it both. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think,
Embarrassing.
yeah, dare I say that the authorities, they don't take those kinds of calls
Seriously.
very seriously, because if you got an issue with someone that needs police or FBI, why would you air it before the world? You would go down there in secret and state what the problem is, that you need help, that you feel like your life is endangered, you feel like you're being stalked. Those are things you do in private. When you do those on things out there on YouTube and stuff, the authorities, they know what's going on YouTube. They watch YouTube. They know that there's a lot of so-called beef going on, and people
That's
are
right.
trying to trying to one up each other, and it's just another stunt. And I mean, they're gonna take the call. They might jot a few notes down, but it ain't going nowhere because you. And the other thing about the FBI is this: they deal with serious, RICO style cases, big time stuff. Harassment on YouTube is just not one of their things. You
No.
got to call your local police for some shit like that.
That's
So I,
right.
I thought it was a cornball stunt. I thought she just wanted to be like her Kane. He did it. I'm gonna do it. That kind of bullshit. So
I thought it was a complete and utter clout chase move. That's what
yeah.
I thought.
Oh, definitely.
Um, it was straight clout chasing. I have never seen in my life someone so desperate for clicks and views
Yeah.
ever in my life. And Khalil, you know as well as I do, all you have to do is just do content.
Yeah.
You could pick up a phone and say, hey, you know, this phone is, you know, black. It has three cameras. You could
Right.
do content on little stuff like this and actually pull numbers.
Right.
And you know, the clout chasing aspect of it is just so unnecessary. And I never ever
Right.
understood that.
Well,
And Israel's the same way.
yeah. Well, I mean, the reality for Gwinnett is that she has no content. And people keep saying she really has no content. When she does stuff by herself, it's generally her downloading somebody else's material, uploading it
Yes.
to YouTube, and calling it her content, which is not her content. I have yet to, in the year I've seen her, I have yet to see her hold the fort on her own channel by herself and talk UFOs like you do, the stuff you do. I've never seen it. If she put a
You've
UFO video up, it's just a video, but there's no commentary,
no.
which means she has no content. So, she says I don't have content, but on my page, you don't even hardly see anything about those two. I teach Bible, I do other things, but yeah,
Yeah.
together they are a. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. They are fun to listen to, like through the day when I'm working, when they talk,
Right.
when they talk Bible, because you know it's gonna be a shit show. And you know sooner or later Israel Doctrine is gonna disrespect her. Like last Saturday, he said that
Yes.
he called her stupid. He said
Dumb.
that, yeah, he said that Satan had gotten inside of her.
Yes. I thought that
I mean, the level of disrespect that Pizzy, I mean, you would the way that Israel Doctrine disrespects a woman, you would think that he's actually fucking that chick.
I
Like,
know.
like if you banging a chick or you banging a dude, you might get away with some of those things, but
Mhm.
they're in separate states. I almost want to give Israel Doctrine a high five for the way he does her. Like, like in another life, Israel Doctrine might have been a pimp.
I know, right?
Because
I know.
his pimp hand is strong when it comes to Gwinnetta. And,
Except he won't work. He provides nothing to his household. He would be the most horrible pimp, I think, because he's a non-provider. You
right.
know, he's too worried about, and this is my opinion, but I believe that he's too worried about consuming alcohol every day. I think
Oh
he's an
yeah.
alcoholic. That's my personal opinion. This is not Khalil's opinion. I personally think that Israel Doctrine is an alcoholic. So I find it really weird that someone of that stature would try to teach me how I'm supposed to be saved and how I'm supposed to go to heaven. I find it
Insane.
offensive, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
It's insane. And I mean, the whole idea that Israel Doctrine thinks he's a Bible teacher, yet he uses no references. Rarely does he even quote Bible. If you watch, like, he doesn't put any no PDFs of Bible scriptures. Rarely. And
Facts.
they both have really gotten, especially Gwinnetta. She's really gotten. I mean, she says she hates Catholics. She hates Catholics. But the things that she be saying, she doesn't even understand that those are things that the Catholic Church brought to the world. The ideal
Exactly.
of God and Jesus being the same person. Same thing with Pizzy. God and Jesus, the same person. That's not a Jewish concept. It's a Christian concept. It's a
Right.
Catholic concept. So I just be watching them and be like, it's like two idiots that really don't know the Bible, you know, just two bumbling idiots that don't know the Bible. And Israel Doctrine, I have seen him debate many times, and I know he's my enemy. I know I'm his enemy, but I've never seen him win a debate. But he's so
I've not yet.
delusional. He's so
Yeah.
delusional that he
He
thinks
thinks
he's
he
doing.
does. Yes.
It's crazy.
He really, really does feel that way, like he's winning. You know, it's so funny that he really does believe that
Mhm.
he's winning these debates, you know, and he's very arrogant in that respect, and I just find it fascinating sometimes. I really, really do. It's quite fascinating. You know, I just I don't know. You know, I'm curious, Khalil. What, you know, you've known Israel Doctrine longer than I have, aka
Mhm.
Pizzy, right?
Right.
What do you think it was that drawn his attention to me to all of a sudden like start attacking me and calling me all these names? Like, what was it that I did to him? Was it that I knew his new girlfriend? Like, do you have any idea or any thoughts on that? Like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I
I'm
mean, a
curious.
couple things made you the enemy. Number one is he had this chick sitting over there by him, and he recognized. Now you know they talk off air. Like
Right.
I've talked to you maybe twice, maybe for a
Right.
couple minutes off air, but they talk all the time.
Mm,
Uh, so
mm.
Israel Doctrine already understood that you were his so-called queen's enemy. So he's already going to disrespect you based on her.
Right.
And then once you found
Mm.
me and we click, it was like, oh, you a double enemy now. So
Oh yeah.
he don't like you because of her, and he don't like you because you like me. So you
Yeah,
gets
he
no
wasn't expecting that, was he? He wasn't expecting that you and I would become very
no,
good friends at
no,
all.
not at all. And I remember the show that you did where my name came up and you said, I don't I don't know him because you didn't know me.
Mhm.
But you quickly found out who I was. It was like, oh, okay, okay. And
And I
because I
remember
heard you, because the first thing I heard was when I saw you over there, I was like, oh, I got to get to know who that sister is. Oh, I got
mhm.
to meet her. Because
I
you were just,
remember I
yeah, you were
remember
just,
saying, like, what makes you think that Khalil Amani doesn't have support out here on these YouTube streets? What you think you're gonna like you just bully up on Khalil Amani, like just talking all that smack, and you think that he wouldn't have support in
Mhm,
these YouTube streets, especially after the way you've been talking to me? I don't know. I like Khalil. I love his intellect. I think he's intelligent. Everything about him. I'm we're gonna become very good friends.
mhm.
And that really ticked him off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big
He,
time.
with me, he wants people to hate me because, my former involvement with the government, and witness protection. He wants to try to use that to make, other YouTubers go, oh, yeah, he's a rat. He's a snitch. I will never talk to him. But when people learn my story, they go, oh, okay. Okay. I get it. And
Exactly.
he wants people like Sonnetter to just hate me, but when you know you're a good person, and I believe I am, I don't
Yeah.
go around on YouTube making enemies with people.
No.
I don't know. I'm sure there are people that don't like me, but I don't really have
Sure.
a big issue on YouTube. And I've been saying that you like who you like, and that's what it is. And even though people like Sonnetter have rubbed you wrong, because he has, and I didn't like it.
Yes,
I
he
didn't like it.
has.
But I try to stay in the middle because I'm not going to choose. I got my reasons for liking him, and I definitely got my reasons for liking you.
And I
But then,
respect that. I
right, and then,
absolutely 100% respect that.
right,
And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't want you to dislike Sonetta because of an issue between me and Sonetta. I think that's so childish,
mhm,
and I just don't think that's very fair to you at all. So I'm
right.
glad that you handled it like that.
I mean, I'll choose if a YouTuber makes me choose.
Mhm.
Then I definitely won't. If a YouTuber tries to make me choose, then I'm definitely not choosing them. So
Right.
that's I'm gonna go the other side. Even when Sonetta goes on Israel Doctrine's channel,
Mhm.
Sonetta knows I don't mess with Israel Doctrine, but I don't really hate him because he goes over there. Do what you do, bro. Do
What
what
are
you
your
do.
thoughts on that? Does it ever bother you? I mean, just being
Never,
honest, does it ever bother
never,
you? Good.
never,
It
never,
shouldn't.
because my relationship with Sonetta is solid. I
Right.
mean, I'm not, as Gwinnetta pointed out recently, that I am not a moderator on Sonetta's anymore, and that's true. And you'd have to ask Sonetta why that is. But I
Right.
don't, hey, whatever. As far as I know, we good. We text,
Mm.
we text 2 or 3 days ago, and
Yeah.
it was all love. But I knew I was a moderator, and of course, I had my own thoughts about, hmm, could
Maybe.
it be LeakYou? Could it be Queen's Throne? Could it be my affiliation with them? And if that's the case, then it is what it is. I'm not going. I'm not going to stop liking him because of that. Now, if he speaks on it
Yeah.
and that is the case, then I might change and shift my position. But right now, my main reason that I rock with Sonetta is because when I came into the YouTube community, telling my cult story, telling my FBI witness protection story,
He
a
had your
lot of
back.
people, a lot of people tore my ass up,
Right.
but
Right.
Sonetta didn't. He stood up
Yeah.
for me.
And
Even
that
people
means
like
a
Hassan
lot.
Campbell. Excuse me.
That means a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't
Yeah.
just, I mean, he stood up when a lot of folks was, giving me the business. He
Mhm.
said, no, it ain't like that. And he understood my story and explained it the best he could. Even
Yeah.
people like Hassan Campbell, as you hear, Gwinnetta likes to play old footage of Hassan Campbell getting at me. But me and Hassan are great today.
Right.
We cool.
And I mean, I
But
seen the notes. I mean, he clearly has left you, messages, and
yeah,
he seems to be, cool with you at this point.
is
But you leave it up to some, they'll continue to lie and claim that you all ain't.
right,
And you've got to really pay attention. When you're reading this stuff, is people will lie.
right. And
People
the only
will
reason
absolutely lie.
and the only reason that me and Hassan went through our thing back in the day is because I was rocking with Israel Doctrine.
Mm.
And so while I was on Team Israel Doctrine, so to speak, back then I was actually doing more writing and putting my writings on YouTube more so than just actually showing my face. And
Mhm.
I'm a writer, and
Right.
I was tearing Hassan up. I was tearing him up, and
Right.
uh, and so the stuff that you hear him say about me is the backlash. But we've moved past that. We've talked on Instagram a
I'm
couple of times,
glad.
and I think in time I'll actually be on his channel, and we'll do a little, remember when kind of video and just talk about those things. But yeah, I had to. I realized, you know, I was only with Israel Doctrine maybe about a year.
That's
It
not
wasn't,
long.
yeah, it wasn't that long. It was about a year. But
Yeah.
but Israel Doctrine, he thought he was the puppet master. He thought he thought it was the Israel Doctrine train and the Israel Doctrine show. Because Israel Doctrine, being in Parkland, Arkansas, never heard of that place until I met this guy. Because
Wow.
as he tried to put himself into the Africa Bambaataa story, he did a little digging and a little research, and he ran across my name. And he reached out to me one day on Facebook. When I saw his name, Israel Doctrine, I thought he was a Hebrew Israelite, which he is.
Right.
Um, I knew he wasn't a Yahweh where I come from because they don't use names like Israel Doctrine. They
Right.
don't, so I
Right.
knew it wasn't people that came from my former cult. But I still,
Wow.
over the years, I've had Israelites and Yahweh members, hit me up to say something bad or something. So I figured he wanted to talk about some Israelite stuff. But when I said, "What's good? What's happening?" When he starts talking about Bambaataa, I said, "Oh, you want to talk about Bambaataa?"
Mhm.
So I made the fatal mistake of entertaining him.
Right.
Yeah, I gave
And
him, I gave him credibility. I gave him a lane. When this guy found out that I'm the first guy to write about Bambaataa getting stabbed by a young Spanish man, when he found out that I was connected to world famous DJ K Slade and a writer for his magazine, it was Christmas for him. I mean, he
oh my
was
gosh, you
he
broke
was through
that
the moon.
story
Yeah,
wide open, Khalil.
yeah,
When Bambaataa was stabbed, you broke that story wide open. I know there's others, that have claimed that, they broke the story or whatever, but you wrote that article, you went into great depth, you broke that story down. And, Africa Bambaataa, one of the biggest stars in hip hop, stabbed.
yeah.
And you broke that story wide open. And, I commend you. What do you think about some of the victims that are still there? That there's still been no justice in regards to the Africa Bambaataa situation.
Well, I think that because this whole African Bambaataa became a shit show on social
Right.
media, I think there are young men or older men even now that just want to bury it as a memory. I think it's almost like being in a cult because when I left my cult, I wasn't trying to rehash, dig up, go to the police. Um, I want to move on with my life, and I believe that a lot of these people that Bambaataa allegedly violated, they just want to move on. They certainly don't want to come on YouTube after they seen the
Right.
Hassan and the Ronald Savage and the recanting and all the craziness that goes on now. They just gonna a lot of men are just sucking that shit up,
Golly.
swallowing deep, and going on with their lives, and
Mm.
making it a distant memory. And I don't
And
blame them.
all these promises made about record deals, I'm going to make you famous, and it never seems to come to fruition
Yeah,
ever.
ever.
It's the same with Diddy. It's the same with so many others, and they make these promises that they never keep,
Yeah,
and it's really sad. It's the same situation with with Diddy going on, right now.
right.
The biggest thing they've been complaining about has been the food
Mhm.
in MDC, and they were raided earlier
Mhm,
this week, or yeah, a week ago,
mhm.
about the conditions in MDC, and I don't know. Is prison food supposed to be delectable? It at least needs to be eatable, right?
Right.
But what are we doing? Are we serving like Japanese wagyu with cheesy potatoes? Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
You
Well,
know,
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, I mean, what kind of food does inmates deserve? I think they deserve to eat decently, no bugs, no
Right.
nasty stuff in there. But at the same time, food is expensive, and we've got a lot of people out here that are starving. And, my thing is, it's like if I'm going to pick the ones that have chosen to live their lives free of crime, I feel like, I'm not trying to say they should eat better, but in a way, I kind of am. They're not the ones sitting behind bars, that chose to be there for a variety of different crimes.
Right.
And, that's just my opinion on that,
Right.
but
And I agree with you. I mean, prisoners shouldn't have to eat food with bugs in it and stuff like
no.
that, moldy stuff. But hey, if it's bologna and cheese sandwich and a burger at night and maybe ketchup and mustard on, hey, y'all, we got to stop putting ourselves in a position whereby we have to deal with these types of lifestyles. And certainly for someone like P. Diddy, it's a whole culture shock him being in
Oh,
prison
oh
after
my
being a
God.
after being damn near,
Caviar.
yeah, being a millionaire or billionaire or wherever he was at, having to go and 9 by 9 cell and oh God, it's got to be
Caviar
worse.
to stroganoff? Are you kidding me?
It's got to be terrible.
Oh my God.
He's trying to get on bail, like, so he can go lay in that comfortable, you know, that bed and put on that nice, bathrobe again. But, you
Man.
know, hey,
And he can't be trusted. There's been too many intimidation of witnesses, but that's up for the courts to decide. But I got a question for you again, Khalil. Have you heard of the Resilient Jenkins? The
the who?
viral the Resilient Jenkins, the viral family who lives in Oregon. They live in a one-bedroom apartment. The woman has 6 children with one on the way.
Mm,
So that means there's like 8 or 9 living in a one-bedroom apartment.
mhm,
Mom's room, there's a one bedroom, so mom's room is kind of plush, nice, mattress, blah blah blah. But the kids are all sleeping on, blankets on the floor, little mattresses on the floor. They range from ages like 1 to 16. What are your thoughts on that? Because, I grew up and I was around a lot of poor people.
mhm,
It's not uncommon to me to see a whole family living in a 1 or 2 bedroom
mhm,
house.
mhm,
Not necessarily apartments where I grew up at, but houses with
mhm,
where, kids would get on the school bus and they smell like wood smoke
mhm,
from trying to stay warm all night.
mhm.
What are your thoughts on poverty and families that are really struggling and can't afford more than a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment or house
Right.
these
Well, I
days.
do know that where I grew up in Miami, I mean, there were a lot of big families. We were a family of 7 with 3 bedrooms.
Wow.
Yeah, 1, 2, yeah, 3 bedrooms. And my best friends, they were a family of like 12 and they had like 4 bedrooms. So the ideal of, sleeping, one at the foot, one at the bottom, at the top, whatever, you know, toes in your mouth because your brother or sister is sleeping crazy. That goes on.
It
I'm
does.
just glad. I'm just glad that people who are in those positions don't
Mm,
abandon their children,
right.
that they stick it out in whatever conditions. I mean, when you talk about the immigration situation, we know and we always talk about how, the Cubans or the Mexicans, they'll get one house, it might be 4 bedroom, and they'll put 15 people in the house and they'll get jobs and get money, and then they'll get another house and they'll expand. So that ideal is in our communities and it goes on. I
Yeah.
mean, I would rather sleep in a house, with a bunch of people than go to foster care because the people that are in the house, at least for the most part, they love me.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to be
Yes.
Gwinnett Greer. I would never put my kids out like that.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's unfortunate, and I hope that I know they say there's a housing shortage right now, which
Yes.
I don't really see it, especially here in Colorado. They are building houses and apartments around me like it's nobody's business, but they say it's a shortage of houses. So I know
I
you got a
mean,
house. I got a house. I bet you'd be lonely in that big house, don't you? You'd
you
be
know
doing
what?
cartwheels and shit.
You know what? Back flips, front flips, cartwheels. I got to be honest with you. I'm in a 2,000 square foot house. I've got
Mm,
2 houses actually on this piece
okay.
of property. And I'm okay with it.
Mhm,
It's home base. And my thing is I love to travel and I have a lot of plans to travel next year and the year after. And I love it. I
mhm,
love it because I look at it like this. I deal with the health situation that I won't go into detail with, but if God forbid, something happens, at least I've paid for everything. I don't have to worry about uh, the struggle of getting a social security check,
right.
that sort of a thing. I can, survive, so to speak. I love living in this house. I did buy quite a big house. I've even thought about buying some property in Oklahoma, on a river, or even in Colorado, where I could live there 6 months of the year, live
Mhm,
here 6 months of the year,
mhm.
and just live my life and
There you
enjoy
go.
it.
There you go.
You
Sound like
know,
you living the dream, girl.
I'm trying. I mean, hey, Khalil, I had 3 kids. I had my first kid at 15,
Mm,
3 by 21.
wow.
And I ended up becoming a solution architect when it
Mhm,
comes to, computers and messaging and all that. But by the time I was, I mean, I'm a solution architect now, but by the time I was 22, 23, I was a computer engineer,
mhm,
running email systems for military and all this sort of a thing.
mhm.
And so, I'm quite proud of where I've gotten to in my life. That's for doggone sure. With three
Right.
kids,
Yeah. You didn't let your
there.
circumstances, keep
No.
you in that place.
Do you want to
Yeah,
know how I found out about how I got computer training and got into this?
tell me.
I I went to apply for food stamps in Dallas, and I was pregnant, 5 months pregnant with my middle boy, and I seen a flyer on the wall for free computer training down at El Central College in Dallas, Texas. And
Mm-hmm.
I said to myself, what am I going to do? My ex-husband at the time, he worked. Um, so what am I going to do? Sit at home all day, watch TV, watch Maury Povich? No. I'd
Right.
rather be doing something. There's nothing wrong with me getting up. I'll catch the bus and go down to the college every morning, or I'd catch a ride with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for several months, and they did job placement. And you remember Circuit City,
Mm-hmm.
the I used to do support for the hardware. When something would die, when a piece of hardware would die, I would send replacement
Mm-hmm.
hardware. But after a while, it grew and grew, and I ended up, now supporting corporate businesses where I'm making sure email is flowing from one place to the other. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking, then it got to the point where I'm supporting Navy military ships because each ship has a email server on it, and I would make sure my job would be to make sure emails getting from one ship to the next,
Mm-hmm.
all over the world.
Wow.
And I ended up getting my MCSE, which was 7
Mm-hmm.
certifications.
Whew.
7. Then I got my exchange architecture and design. That was 2 additional certifications. Then I got my Network Plus, which was an additional certification. And then recently I got a certification that essentially, keeps me up to date or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I have no college degree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all I got certifications
Got
and
it out the mud.
experience and
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And I can get into a room for a technical interview, and I guarantee you that I'm going to be wowing the people interviewing me. They can't handle throw a question at me if you want me to. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
And the last few, I didn't even study for them because I'm
Mm-hmm.
just so experienced. I mean, I've been doing this now almost 29 years, almost 30
Mm-hmm.
years.
Wow.
And so for me, a technical question about email and, basic networking and subnetting and all that sort of thing, it's easy because I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing it so long.
Right.
And I tried so many times to help people because it's like you start out, you don't have a college degree, you don't have any experience. I'm redesigning email farms, all sorts of very interesting things. But there's only one more title above me after this. And right now, I'm a solutions architect.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I will become a principal.
Mm-hmm.
And a principal is someone who's had about 30 years of experience in their field. I would be reporting directly to the CIO. There is no manager I'm going to be reporting to. It'd be
Mm-hmm.
the CIO. And then after that, it would be CIO, but me not having a degree may hinder that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay with that. Because I'm doing okay.
Right.
I'm doing all
And
right.
a degree is not everything, as you know. I mean, your testimony, your life is like, having a child at 15, but look how you turned out. I
Oh my
mean,
gosh.
these are the stories that I love to hear, stories of trial and triumph and not allowing your circumstances to get the best of you. When you listen to those people, Israel Doctrine and Gwinnetta, they're always talking about their life and how bad it was and why they ain't shit today. But you're a classic example of you had it bad. A
Oh,
child at
bad.
15, a child at 15 is a major life change. But you
And
saw
did
that
3 by
advertisement,
21.
huh?
3. 3
And three
by
by
21.
21.
Yeah.
But you saw that advertisement and you said, I think I'll check it out.
Yep. What am
And
I gonna do? I'm sitting here
yeah,
all day. I might as well go. I can get free daycare.
yeah.
Let me just go every day.
Let me just
I'm
go.
learning something. And I was actually
Yeah.
more advanced than my class, Khalil.
Mhm.
I was doing things on the computer. I just have always been intelligent. I was installing phone lines for my grandmother in her home when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
I was doing stuff like that,
Wow.
and it's just amazing that I've gotten to where I've gotten,
Yeah. Well,
with
you
no
know when
college degree.
when I hear your story, my story is similar in that, you know, I was coming out of the cult and I didn't have no skill. I had no
Mhm.
college degree. I had nothing but a pretty face, I guess, for a man. And I used that. And I was, ladies' man, all that kind of stuff. But I
Right.
had a young lady that put me on the right course. Like,
I remember you telling me about
yeah,
her.
a little Cuban sister that I was dating, and she was like, "Hey, babe,
Yeah.
you should try this thing called phlebotomy." What? I don't know what the word means. You draw blood, you work with blood.
I used to do phlebotomy for a couple
Okay.
months just to
And
get
that's
a
kind
little
of how I
extra
got,
money.
yeah, that's how that that experience, it was like a 5-month course, but
Wow.
that was the experience that told me that I wasn't a dummy and that if I applied myself, maybe I could go back to college and get a degree. And that's
That's
what I
right.
did after that 5 months. I got my little certificate. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. I had a little, it didn't pay much, but I had,
So what?
but but I was on the right course
That's
as far as
amazing.
coming from a tragic situation, cult life, and losing my wife and losing my kids, and just being out there
Wow.
like a nobody, to just finding something that I was good at, and I was good at it. And it gave me the inspiration to go further and go back to school, get my 2-year and then get my 4-year degree and just become somebody. So
It
when I hear
motivated
stories like
you?
yours, it's like that that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. If it's
Yeah.
in if it's in here, nothing can stop you.
That's right.
Nothing can hold you back. Your
And
circumstances are just circumstances.
that's right. And I love my mama and I love my family,
Mhm.
but they didn't help me. And the crazy thing is that at 26 I was diagnosed with a meningioma brain tumor.
Mm,
So here I am,
wow.
with the kids so young. And I finally am getting to it where I finally got my, I think it was my second tech job in
Mhm,
Jacksonville, Florida. I was working for Interstill, which makes chips for, NASA products and things like that. And yeah, I mean, a lot of crazy stuff happened back in those days. And when I got diagnosed with that meningioma, I was down for a year, Khalil.
mm,
I mean, I it took me over a year to learn how to walk
mhm,
again. My brain surgery was a horseshoe.
mm,
I was in what do they call it, ICU for
mhm,
several weeks. I had three small. My youngest was in kindergarten.
mm,
My oldest was in 5th grade, and I was not married at the time.
mhm,
And so I was doing everything, pretty much on my own. And, no matter how much family says they love you, they will get tired of you and your
mhm.
problems.
Right,
Period. That's just the way that it is.
right.
And so I left, moved to Florida, and then moved to Texas, which is home, for
Mhm.
me. I've lived in all kinds of places.
What
Um,
part of Florida were you in?
First Jacksonville and then Palm Bay.
Okay.
Palm Bay, Florida. I loved Palm Bay, except the snakes, the moccasins, the wild packs of dogs, you know.
Right.
But I came back to Texas, and it just took me time to build my strength up. It took me a
Mhm,
long time to build the strength up that I needed. And who would have thought? Here I am, 46,
still here.
and I'm still here, and I still have that meningioma. It grows very, very slow. Thank God it's not cancerous. It's not like aggressive. But it may not be the meningioma that kills me,
Mhm.
Khalil. It may be
Right.
something else.
Right.
Um,
What
but
made you? What 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 were the first signs that there was something going on?
um, headaches.
Okay.
I was getting some of the most intense headaches that I had ever experienced, and I never had experience with headaches.
Hmm.
And I'll never forget. I mean, I was getting them like once every other week, and I mean, they were intense. And I'll never forget one day taking the kids on vacation to Oregon. And I was up in that motel room the whole week. It was horrible vacation because I was in so much pain. And
Hmm.
I remember, I was in so much pain. I started crying and I started having like stuff come out and it relieved the pressure. But I'll never forget, even strange things would happen. Like, I bought an apple one time, Khalil. I bit into the apple and seen worms in the apple. But guess what? There were no worms in the apple.
Oh.
It was some weird, it was just that strange,
Hmm.
psychological, you see stuff. But then the headaches got so intense. I'll never forget. I moved to Virginia. Um, I touched down 4 hours after touching down on the plane. I had a grand mal seizure.
Wow.
And I woke up and I didn't know who was around me. People are asking me all these questions. I go to the hospital. They tell me, I remember them telling me, we're going to give you a concoction, an IV in your arm. And if you feel like you're, peeing on yourself, then we found something.
Mm.
And that's exactly what I felt. And the doctor came and told me, and then they um helicoptered me over to a bigger hospital in Norfolk, Virginia, and I stayed there in ICU for about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. And 2 months later, I had brain surgery,
Mm.
and it took a year and a half to learn how to walk again
Wow.
with a kindergartner and a fifth grader and a third grader
That's tough.
by
You got a
myself.
tough life by
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
That's a
But I
tough
did
life.
it. I did it. I mean, look where I'm at
Ooh.
today. I mean,
Yeah.
46. I'm still doing it. I'm still alive. And I'm thankful so much, Khalil. And I know you dealt with some situation with your Bell's palsy situation, and that lasted you a really long time.
Hmm.
And was it painful?
No, it wasn't painful.
That's
And you know what I
good.
just, really, what I just realized that, uh, and I don't know if to be a fact, but I was reading the contraindications and side effects of taking the COVID shot.
Yes.
And do you know that Bell's palsy was
Yes.
either one or two on the list of side effects? I
I
said,
never took
ah,
a COVID shot.
I said, oh shit.
Yep.
That's,
I never
but it
took a
was it
COVID
was quite
shot.
it was scary because when
Yeah.
it happened in one day. Literally, I woke up, was brushing
Quick.
my teeth, and I was having a hard time just opening my mouth to put the toothbrush in.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I blew it off as, "Yeah, I don't know, I went on my day. I went to a gun show, and as I was coming home, I
Mm.
looked in the mirror, and I looked like the Elephant Man. It had really
Wow.
fallen, and I freaked out. So, of course, I went to an urgent care, and they didn't know what it was. And it got worse over the weekend. And Monday, I went to the ER, and the doctor walked right in and said, "You got Bell's palsy." I
Wow.
said, "Well, how come the other doctor didn't know that?"
And I've heard a lot of people getting Bell's palsy from the
Yeah,
COVID shot. I
yeah.
personally never got it
Hmm.
because I just I took so I took so much medication when I was sick with the brain tumor. I
Hmm.
was tired of medication, and I mean,
Right,
I was swole up,
right,
Khalil. I mean, I had the hump in the neck,
right.
the corticosteroid.
Yeah, they
Look,
swell you up. Yeah,
yeah, big
yeah.
time.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Well,
I'd have to let me show you a picture really quick. You're gonna be like, no
Like,
way. Is that you? Look at that.
oh damn, damn.
Yeah.
You and your
That's my
daddy, right?
that's my daddy.
That's your
Yeah.
black daddy.
That's my papa.
That's
That's
your
right.
papa.
That's my black daddy.
There you
That's
go. There
right,
you
baby.
go. Love it. I can.
Yes.
I see you swole, but I can still see you.
Yes. I mean, you can tell it's me, but I
Yeah.
think I
Oh yeah.
gained 150 pounds in 2 months
Yeah. Steroids. Yeah.
because you just eat and
Yeah.
eat and
Yeah.
eat and eat.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was pretty crazy, but I'm just glad to be alive, and yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad to be alive.
that's two traumatic things that you went through in your life. The
I
early
have.
the early children and then having the brain tumor. That's and you still
It's
have such a
wild.
positive. You're still such a positive person. How's that happen?
I don't know. Everybody tells me I'm too nice. My mama tells me that. My sister,
That might be it.
my ex-husband, everybody tells me I'm too nice. And for me, I don't I don't think so. I think maybe I could tighten up a little bit, Khalil. eh, but I'm just me,
Right. That's who
and
you are.
that's just who I am. I'm
Yeah.
just a nice person. And maybe, maybe I'll find a husband one day,
Mhm.
you know, um, and who knows what'll ever happen. I mean, I was married twice to the same man,
Okay.
so, it is what it is. And things were kind of crazy,
Well,
but
I've had my share of marriages. I
I
think I'm
know,
finally
I
home.
know. Like 4, right? You've been married 4 times? Yeah. I mean, my mom's been married 3.
Technically,
So,
technically 5 times because I married my third wife 2 times.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I married my first husband 2 times, and I hate that things and you'll hear our favorite ops always talking smack about our marriages to our spouses, or our non-marriages to our spouses, and
Right.
I just look at them like, you're not even married.
Right. No,
Who wants you?
nobody put a ring on it.
Nobody.
It's okay.
Nobody.
It's okay to have married and divorced. Shit happens.
It
But when
does.
you go through your whole life and no man wants to put a ring on your finger,
That means something. And who's going to put a ring on the finger of a woman who says, who first of all prostitutes your body, but second of all, when we're talking about your own child, you're telling a stranger that you don't know to go adopt the child.
right?
That's insane to me.
Super
And
weird.
then to threaten that you're going to beat my child. I will never forget how she threatened that she would do my child the same way. Oh no, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't have an eyeball. You wouldn't have eyeballs. You wouldn't have
Yeah,
lips. You wouldn't have ears because I'd pull them all off.
right.
You would
Right. Well,
never hurt my children in that way.
Gwinnetta is an example of the opposite of your struggle. That's all.
Yeah.
Like
There's
even
so
if
much I
she,
could teach her.
yeah, even if she had gone through a stint as a prostitute, even if she had a drug problem, she was never able to overcome it and be somebody and get her life together. So she comes on YouTube, and her biggest pronouncement is that now she's a queen.
Yeah. Oh,
You
you're
know,
kidding me.
so you know,
A queen is just like a way of elevating oneself
right.
because their life was so jacked up when they were growing up. It's like a way of trying to make themselves like,
Trying to
more
find
than what they really are.
right, trying to find some relevancy, trying to find, you know,
Right.
you know, you
Right.
instead of focusing on getting your life right and making change, the
Yeah.
greatest thing you could say is you come on YouTube and you're a queen.
That's right.
And
It's
a
become.
title bestowed on you by a man that you won't even tell the man how to pronounce your name.
It's Quinetta. I've heard her sister call her that several
I
times.
I have too. Yeah.
You know, it's shortcut Netta. Now let me ask you something. And and I love critique. Your thoughts on my content. What do you think about my type of content? And what do you think about my type of content when it comes to UFO, UAP, NHI? I mean, I really want to bring disclosure out
Mhm.
into the world. I'm still figuring out a way to do that. But I got to tell you, Khalil, I've been pulling up to 1,000 viewers daily on Twitter.
I saw you when you said that. I went over to X. I said, "God damn, you had like 3 people on YouTube, but you was over 1,000 on X." I said, "I got to get my shit together." I heard that whole
I can help
story.
you with that. I can help
Yeah.
you with that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter, I'm on X, but I don't really be on it. But
But
it's
I know how to get you the numbers. I'll text you.
okay.
I know how to get you those numbers, but I can't believe that I can pull 1,000, 1,500
Mhm.
people on Twitter, but 2 and 3 people on YouTube.
Which means that YouTube is starting to become passe. It's like
Yeah.
it ain't really the place to be like that. But
No.
I'll say this, as I'm a UFO enthusiast myself.
Right.
I've had my own run-ins with that UFO phenomenon. I've always believed in UFOs. I've watched hella UFO shows on YouTube, but I've never. You're the first person that I actually knew that was doing the content that I could actually, if I had a question, I could actually speak to you. I've seen others that like white dudes and stuff that I just don't know. I've watched what's that guy name that worked at
Mm.
UF at the Area 51
Bob
the one
Lazar.
Lazar, yeah.
Hmm.
I think his
And
story is
it's crazy
fascinating.
because I know these people's names, I know their stories.
Yeah.
I've studied this
Hmm.
since I was 11,
Hmm.
12 years old, maybe even 9, 10. I've been
Right.
studying this. I used to go rent library books about these types of content. And,
Hmm.
for someone to basically challenge and say, "Hey, I'm the leader in this, and you're nobody." And it's like, don't take away from the hard work that I've earned.
Right. No,
Whatever, whatever.
your content is great, and
Thank you.
the fact that even when you use someone else's material, you give commentary on it. That's
Yes,
what good YouTube is about.
and credit.
It's not about just stealing somebody's material and putting it out there. That's my YouTube UFO content. You give color commentary and you give insights on what's going on. And that's what we love about you. That's what I love when I watch your videos. I
Thank
watch all
you.
your, you don't know it, but sometimes I have to watch them, at work or on break and stuff.
Same
Because I keep
here.
up on all your you because I just like I said, I have a fascination, as I believe we all should have a fascination with, UFOs because I believe it's a real thing. I do
Yep.
not believe that we are alone in the universe, and I think it's
Yep.
purely human arrogance to believe such a silly notion. Like there's got to be something else out there besides us.
No, I
And
totally agree with you. And
yeah,
I watch all of your content, Khalil. I got to tell you, each and every single video that you drop and every community post that you post, I read it. I watch every
have so
video
much
you
fun.
drop. And I mean that, every single one. Now, I can't say the same for Israel Doctrine or his concubine.
Hmm.
I've gotten to the point, I think now, where I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been starving them out. You've probably noticed that lately.
Hmm.
I've been completely ignoring that. This is the first video I've done where I've talked about them
Hmm.
in a long time, in a minute. But
Right.
I've been starving them out because there's nothing interesting they got going on. And I'm not going to go back and forth about the same thing over and over and talk
Hmm.
about nothing. I
Right.
got things to do and I got a
Right.
life to live, and I'm not going to waste my time on nonsense.
Right. You know
So,
what's funny about both of those characters is that, and I've said this before, sometimes their thumbnails are actually better than their content.
yes.
Like
Every
like
single
the other day,
time.
yeah, the other day, Israel Doctrine, he put a picture of Idi Amin on his thumbnail, and I posted under, what the fuck does that have to do with what you do, what you talking about? Like, what does
Wow.
Idi Amin? He never mentioned Idi Amin.
Does he even
I
know who
think
Edie
maybe
Amin is?
he
Like,
probably doesn't know. He wasn't a good person. Uh,
ooh,
I think
that's
I think
Tupac
he might put
right
yeah,
man.
uh
That's Tupac's right man. Tupac Shakur's right man, Edie Amin.
yeah, Idi Amin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't take that name. The motherfucker was a cannibal. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
No, you're
Idi
right.
Amin, I think I think his so-called wife,
Hmm.
I think she's from Uganda. Did I?
Wow.
Yeah, I think I heard him say that.
I
And I
think
don't know.
I've heard that
And I don't
before
know.
as well.
I think he might be appealing to his wife, to his so-called wife.
Mm.
But he's gonna get scammed again. He's gonna Israel Doctrine. He stays getting scammed by
Oh
these
my gosh,
by these
that
women
new
that he thinks are gonna
girlfriend,
marry him.
that new girlfriend of his,
Hmm.
I mean, I ain't trying to talk bad about the girl, but
I seen her. I say the same thing.
she looks like she's scamming.
Yeah,
Period. I mean, I'm just being honest.
yeah,
I don't understand why he can't just find someone here in the States. What's the problem? What
right.
is the problem? I don't
I
get it.
mean, I mean the beauty of finding a partner is finding a partner and going through the whole dating process. He just wanted,
Yes.
oh, I just want a wife so I could make some babies. What about love? What about affection? What about some great conversation? What about
Right.
sharing an ice cream cone? You know, stuff that makes memorable moments. Like
Instead of
it's not
yelling at
about,
your maid and talking
yeah,
crap to her and,
finding someone
cussing
that
her
you,
out.
yeah, finding someone that you look across a room and you catch eyes and immediately or you feel something for one another. Like there's no romance in this
Yes.
conversation. It's all about,
Yes.
oh,
It
I'm gonna get me a wife,
flutters.
make me some babies.
Yes, it flutters right here in the chest,
Yeah.
Right here in the middle of the chest, it flutters.
If you've had that, you won't settle for just, you know, to say you're in a relationship. If you know
Yeah.
what it feels like to be in love,
Yeah.
then you're gonna want to feel that feeling again to meet somebody, not just to have somebody for the sake of having somebody,
No.
you know.
No.
And poor Gwinnetta, what a fake lesbian she is. Like she's dating chicks because she's
Sh-
tired of men.
She's not dating chicks. She's a
Well,
liar.
she
She
did, she
says
did.
that. I'm going to tell you why she says that. She says that because her thing is all about poking at people and trying to upset people. And she thinks that if she tells Israel Doctrine that, it's going to poke at him
Hmm.
and make him mad. I
Hmm.
don't believe she's a lesbian at all.
I don't either.
Unless there's a sexual transaction taking place. That's
Hmm.
the only time I think that she ever gets down like that. But
Hmm.
no, I don't believe she's a lesbian at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. And
Period.
when you
Period.
have to change sexes because you think the sex that you want isn't filling you, that's a terrible thing.
Oh my gosh.
Like, like if every chick I dated was treating me bad, would I want to go suck a dick? I don't think so.
No.
Ew.
Absolutely not. And I mean, imagine walking around with a blonde wig that doesn't even match your color, with skin hanging down your arms, and the only job that you have is to get out there and make money by sleeping with men, and then your kids, at home, when she had them, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I could never do that to my children. I love my
Never,
children so much.
never. We that giving up your children is
Oh my gosh. Just
it's
kill
insane.
me,
Uh,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
that's crazy.
Absolutely not.
You, you would think that people as African Americans, they have the saying is it takes a whole village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
before I could see any of my cousins or nieces or nephews going to foster care,
Mm.
bring them over to me. Bring them to me. I mean,
Absolutely. I'd do
shit.
the same way.
Yeah. I mean, for 4 years, I had my daughter and three
Mm.
grandkids living here with me because my
Gosh,
daughter was struggling.
that's a big
And
deal.
I'm just not going to allow anybody that's attached to me that I love to be out homeless in the street or in the foster care system. Thank
Mm.
God we have a foster care system.
But rescue the ones that are in such dire straits,
Yeah.
because there are some that are in serious dire straits, Khalil,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
could die
Sure.
if they're not helped.
Yeah.
And so I commend you for all the hard work that you have ever put in for your family, for, taking care of your, nieces, nephews. You did the right thing, Khalil, and I commend you 1,000,000% for doing that. They may not ever recognize how much you did for them, but you will. And I
Well,
commend you.
well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it's just what you do when you get old.
Yeah.
Thank God grandparents have a home and they know that any of my grand folks, if they
Yeah.
need somewhere to lay their head. Now, some of them might be like, you can stay tonight, but I don't know.
Right, right, right.
The ones that like be on, I got one that's, he's just a pothead. I can't have that in I don't like the smell of that.
No.
So,
And I
yeah,
mean, it's your home.
yeah,
It's your home, and it's called respect.
yeah,
Period.
yeah,
When he gets his own home, then he can smoke as much pot in his house as he wants.
absolutely. That's how it
Period.
goes. Yeah,
And don't feel bad about feeling that way.
yeah.
That it's your home. Let's see here. I've got my cousin in the building, T. Tisman Colbert. Um, he says that's the only person you can be. He's talking about, some of the experience I've talked about. That is my first cousin there,
Okay.
and I love him to pieces. And thank you for being here, T. I love you. I love you. I absolutely love you. And your
Then
cousin's doing well, by the way. My cousin's doing well, by the way. Gloria says, I absolutely love it when people take in children and give them a good home. Now, for those of you that may not know, like I know Gloria does, some of the others, the man that you see on the screen right now, his name is Khalil Amani. Okay, I want you to understand who this man is. This man has been on People magazine. This man has been on he wrote for Straight Stuntin' magazine. He's worked with Whack 100. Show him, yes, please. He has been through a lot. And we have become such great friends over the years. And I just absolutely adore
there,
Khalil Amani. Look at that. People, he's been on People, True Crime Cults, True Crime Story
I'm
Cults.
in, I'm in here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he yeah, look at that. Look at my brother. Look at my brother.
Right there. You
Yeah.
see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it.
You
Been
have
a few
had
places.
you have been a few places, that's for sure. And I am so proud and so thankful and grateful that I ever met you, Khalil. Real talk.
Same here.
It's
Same
been
here.
an honor to have met you.
Yes.
And it's so funny because, we met through the hatred of others. It
Yes.
was their hate that brought us
Together.
together. And
Absolutely.
that's wild.
Absolutely.
And before you knew it, I had a best friend here
Yes.
who I absolutely adore. And I'm so thankful for
And
him.
let
And
me say this. Let me say this because I heard Gwinnetta the other day say that basically allude to the fact that I'm going to turn on you or you're going to turn on me, some
yeah,
stupid shit.
yeah.
That's never going to happen.
Nope.
We're never going to be disrespectful. If we have an issue, we'll talk about it on the phone.
Just like we always
We're
have.
never going to, yeah, we're never going to. No, that
We're not
woman is
20.
not
We're not
happening.
15. We're not her and we're not him.
Exactly. We're not doing that.
Mm-mm.
We're not disrespecting each other and all that stupid shit. Oh yeah, she's my girl. No matter what, if I call her a bitch, it don't matter. Tomorrow we're gonna be together, and that's why I like her. No, we're
That's
not doing that.
crazy because I'd be like, who you calling a bitch?
I know, like,
And he knows that.
hell,
And if I said that to him, he'd be like,
you know,
Leak, who you calling a bitch?
yeah, like what? No,
Like, where's the
no, we not
mutual
ain't gonna be no
respect?
double crossing. None of that's going
No.
on here. I try to make genuine friends when I do make them, and I keep it for a lifetime.
Damn
I mean,
right.
right now I have 6 best friends. Like who does the like? I mean, when I say best friends,
Right.
like damn. When I think about it, like because when I look at my siblings, my 2 brothers, they have 0 best friends.
Mm,
But everywhere I've moved at, I have made such great relationships
wow.
that even though I'm not in California or Vegas or Miami, I got great friends. Like
Well,
we talk, once a week kind of stuff. You know.
right. And
So
that's kind of like us too. I mean,
yeah,
my gosh, I mean, who would have thought
yeah,
Texas, you know?
yeah.
It's crazy. And I'm
And it
so
showed and what this social media thing shows is that you don't have to ever have shaken hands to
that's right.
feel something for a YouTuber, for somebody on YouTube or on social media. Like I love me some Leak You.
Oh,
Like
I love me some
that's
Khalil
crazy.
Amani.
I've never met you, never shook your hand, never hugged you, but I know you're in my heart. And that's just the beauty of the times in which we live with this medium called social media, where we can reach out around the world and touch people and love
Yes.
people. And
Yes.
that's a beautiful
Yes.
time. We're in a beautiful time.
Yes.
People say
Oh,
social media is the devil, but we can talk to people in China and Japan and Africa and South America that we would have never talked to 25 years ago.
facts. Facts.
Gotta
That
love
is
it.
a fact. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah,
Well, I'll
yeah.
tell you what, Khalil, oh my God, I love you to pieces. You are my heart.
Same here.
I have so much respect for you and honor. And I know this will not be the only time that I mean, I can't believe this is the first time we've ever did an interview, but we will do some more.
We talked
And
one time, remember?
we did. Yes, we
For a
did. We
quick,
did.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm always whenever you want it. You
Yeah,
you
I
got
know. I
you got
know.
carte blanche.
Yeah, and you do too. You do too. Anything you ever need, you know how to reach me.
Absolutely.
And I just appreciate everything, everything. And I love you to pieces. Thank you for meeting with me tonight on this
Yeah.
beautiful, Sunday night as we get headed back into work. We're getting ready for the Thanksgiving holidays,
Oh,
Christmas.
right.
And I absolutely, like I said, I adore you. Everyone, please subscribe to if Gloria could drop a link to Khalil's platform, I'd really appreciate it. Let's subscribe to Khalil Amani. Let's get him up. I want to see Khalil get up to 500 subs. Khalil had 15,000 subscribers just on YouTube. He decided to remove his pages
Yeah.
because of some other stuff that we're not going to explain right now.
Right.
But if Gloria could drop his address, that would be amazing. I adore you, Khalil. Thank you for coming on. I really, really, really appreciate you. And stay tuned to the platform. I've got some really special things coming up this week, UFO, UAP related,
Okay.
and keep me informed on what you've got as well. You know me. I'm stuck like glue to your channel, so
Well, I love you too. Thanks for
I
having
love you
me.
too.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, we'll talk whenever you want.
You got it. Much love, Khalil.
Much
I'll
love.
talk to
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Bye, chat.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
guys, what an honor to talk with Khalil. What an honor. He means so much to me. And like I said, we met out of the hatred of other content creators. It's so funny that it happened like that. But it was hatred that brought us together. So anyway, guys, I am going to give me a second. This is our, king and queen of YouTube, baby. Again, I do want to show this. This is a video that Nepal Shada did, in which, my biggest hater says, quote, "I'm going to hit you up, sister. Let's be clear. I don't care who you hit up. I don't care. And frankly, I don't give a damn. Good luck to the two of you. And honestly, I wish you nothing but the best. But I'm over it. I'm over all the drama. I'm over all the nonsense, all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, try to have a fantastic rest of your week. There's my paps. There's my pops. That's my daddy, Charles Chuck, as we called him. That's my pops, missing pieces. This is a very interesting, set of papers. That's me. That's all me. A couple of rappers or whatnot when I was down. What? What? Paul Wall, a little bit of everybody, guys. I've had quite a few really cool experiences. Mark Cuban, I've met with him, ate dinner with him. Really fantastic. Paul Wall, he's really cool. Here's another photo of my daddy, whom I love tremendously. Here's another. I know you. We've got this picture of Mark Cuban, but anyway, listen, guys. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm gonna get up out of here. It's 10 o'clock. Time moved back. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling kind of tired a little bit. And it's okay. I'll drop it in the description of the video. Gloria, no problem, babe. No problem. But let me see something quick. Hold on. Okay. Just wanted to double check. Anyway, before we get up out of here, folks, allow me to pay a few bills, if you don't mind, folks. Bye, guys. Shout out to the LeakYou community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart, like really, really, really smart, like I am.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart, like really, really, really smart, like I am.